When former state Senator Holly Mitchell won a seat on the Board of Supervisors last November, it opened the political gates in a district that Mitchell had dominated since 2013. For a diverse LA landscape that spans from Inglewood to Century City, it was a chance for a new leader to take the helm, bringing fresh energy fueled by notions of how to respond to issues such as COVID-19, homelessness and affordable housing. 3 months later, 7 candidates are officially on the ballot vying for Mitchell's old seat in Tuesday's special election. They include 3 Democrats, 1 no-party preference candidate, and 1 peace and freedom candidate. There will be some big-name shoes to fill, and some big issues to face in the 40-member state Senate, where each member in the Democratic majority chamber represents about 1 million people. Mitchell was the first African American to chair the Senate Budget and Fiscal Review Committee, where she was a leader in the passing 2 state budgets and was at the forefront of criminal justice reform legislation. This election will fill Mitchell's remaining term, which expires in December of next year. Mitchell's tenure came on the heels of Mark Ridley-Thomas, whose storied path through local, state and federal elected office also led him through the state Senate. And then there's the issues themselves, with COVID-19 response at the top of the list. But there are others, sometimes overlapping, ranging from affordable housing to housing the homeless to healthcare to criminal justice reform to concerns about small business survival and recovery from the pandemic. And then there's the potential for the recall of Governor Gavin Newsom, which will likely mean Democrats spending a lot of time defending Newsom and his COVID-19 era actions. The candidates appear to agree on what many of the problems are, but how they get to the solution and debates on who best can get things done is where their politics turn. Nobody disagrees that homelessness and lack of affordable housing are giant problems in a district that includes communities such as South LA, and where the disparities in paychecks are apparent in a drive from the South Side to the West Side. It's the South Side where Huerta, a 19-year-old community organizer, works to advocate for housing rights and social justice. He was compelled to run after a 2020 in which the defund the police movement, the pandemic and the social inequalities it shined a light on, came to the fore. Universal health care, immigrant justice, a rethinking of the criminal justice system, cancellation of residential rents and mortgages, guaranteeing of jobs for any Californian who wants to work, are all things that a democratically controlled legislature should be pushing hard on, he said. And yet, in the midst of a pandemic, even the most progressive Democratic legislators aren't doing that, he said.